Well, good morning. How are you doing this morning? It is Saturday morning, sometime in January. I think it's the 25th. I'll tell you, man, I gotta try to keep up with what day I'm on. Man, beautiful morning. It's crisp, it's cold, it's 30 degrees in Florida. I'm ready for it to be over. But I do love, once I get out here, once I've been out here, that first 40 minutes, I guess, the first 2 miles are the worst because my face is begging me to hurry up and get back home, feeling all this cold hitting on it. But you know, once you get your blood flowing and you get to feeling good, you're really thankful you got out here and said, screw it, I'm gonna get up and do it. And did it. You start your day right. And that's important because we got a lot of decisions to make throughout every day. Starting it right is a great way to get going. Anyway, I thought I would come and talk to you guys about some of the questions I've been receiving ever since I did my 4 years on carnivore video. I get a lot of questions about how much meat do you eat? Let's see, are you still using the same supplements? You know, things like that. And I thought, well, it'd be a good time to give you a quick update on some of that. Not a whole lot has changed. I mean, when you look back to the very beginning of when I started doing the lion diet, I used to just eat when I was hungry. And I was hungry a good bit more in the very beginning. But that quickly changed because I found out that meat was so filling. I mean, it causes you to be satiated. So you're not hungry all the time. And I got to where I was waiting until well after noon to have my first meal of the day, sometimes after 2 or 3 o'clock. And I thought, this is not normal. I usually got to eat first thing in the morning. I mean, this is not normal, but it was good not normal. And I figured on average throughout, I was probably eating about 2 pounds of meat a day, maybe a little bit more in the beginning. But on average, I've been saying now for 4 years, it still averages out to about 2 pounds. Some days it's a little more. Like yesterday, I had about 2.5 pounds. But then a few days ago, I had 1.5 pounds. So it varies. But I mean, the key is I kind of I get my steaks cut to where they're pretty big, usually 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. And I've had some of them cut up to 3 pounds because when I'm getting the piece cut off on the end, I don't want a piece that's like 1 pound or very thin. So sometimes I'll have a really thick piece when I get it cut to order. But that's one of the things I like about the Dreo chef maker that I use because it works great. Especially the thicker the steak, it's oh man. Those 3-finger thick New York strip steaks are fantastic. I can't believe how good they come out. I mean, they're just so crispy on the outside and they're so deliciously juicy on the inside. It's amazing. But as far as supplements, some of you know that I've been using Relight, Redmond's Relight in the mornings or when I exercise or sweat, and that's still the case. I put a scoop of Redmond in a big coffee cup of hot water every morning. Sometimes I'll have 2 and sometimes I'll even have 3, especially when I'm going to be walking like this. And when it's cold, I like more hot water. And I'll usually have a little Relight in all of them. Especially when it's cold like this, because I'm depleted of things because of the cold. I don't know, it's hard to describe. Like my face gets red and dry and not getting any sunlight, so I don't mind having a little extra, especially when I'm getting out here and getting these good rucks in. But that's one of the supplements. And then the other thing that I take is vitamin D once a week. Sometimes when it's like cold like this, I'll take 2 in a week. Because really, vitamin D doesn't last that long in your system. So that's the only problem I have with a weekly tablet. But especially when I'm not getting as much sunlight, I'll add a second one occasionally. And then I'll take iodine still. I usually take about 1/2 of a dropper full or 1/3 of a dropper full, somewhere in that range. It's, I forget how many milliliters, doggone it. But whatever it is, it's like I don't worry about the dosage all that much because most people need more iodine, although I would definitely suggest you look into it. If you have any thyroid problems, you might want to be careful with how you adjust iodine. But iodine is something that most people are deficient in. And not only have I heard about studies where a high amount of people are deficient in iodine, and that's so important for your thyroid's function so that all your hormones are functioning properly, that that's something you definitely want to look at. Anyway, if you guys got more questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'm glad to always try to help. I find out when I meet new people who want to have information about carnivore that I got to keep talking about it here so that you can know what's going on and how it's working and what you got to do. A lot of people want to have meal plans. I'm like, man, don't make it so complicated. Just eat meat. The easy part is eating the meat. The hard part is getting it prepared. Finding the right way to prepare it is the key. My favorite has been the air fryer because it makes life easier. I also use a Schwenk grill occasionally, which I like because it's outdoors. I mean, I like to use when I'm able to work outdoors or do something outdoors, but most of the time I'm just working, and air fryer is the way to go. I got links for those things in the description of every video, or at least there's a link to my website in the description of every video that has links to all the different stuff I use in the merchandise section there. So be sure to check that out if you want to know the tools that I use to make the carnivore diet work. Anyway, that's all I got for this one today, guys. Sam says bye. He loves it out here in the cold. It's growing on me, but I do miss my sun. I'm looking forward to the sun coming back out. So until next time, guys, have a good one. Say screw it. I'm going to get up and do it, and I'll see you next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
It's still coming out.
I love it just as much as I did before.